and welcome to this video tutorial. So welcome. So I must say that it has really taken me a while to do a video from the last time that I did a video on my channel, and largely because I have been so busy with the movement. I've actually relocated. I'm in a different country now, and so it has kind of taken me a while to settle down and just be ready to do some of the videos. So now we can get started with the 2019 papers, and I understand that most of you guys will be writing your exams in maybe say 2 weeks time or so. But let's see how many videos we can put up before that time. Okay, so in this video we'll start to look at the May-June 2019 paper 2-1, and we'll be looking at the section on document production, and then later on we'll go to data manipulation and presentations. Okay, so let's go straight into the work that we're supposed to do. So task 1, evidence document. Open the file J219 evidence.rtf. Make sure your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of this document, and save this document in a work area as J219 evidence followed by your candidate number, for example J219 evidence 9999, and you need to place evidence rather screenshots and answers to questions in this evidence document. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the file in question. So it's this one, evidence, and basically what we're just doing to this file is to add some details in the header or in the footer. They haven't told us which one exactly, so you're free to choose either the header or the footer, but you need to add your candidate details there. Okay, so I'm going to insert in the header my candidate details. Okay, blank 3 column, and Chikasa Evans, and I'll continue using my ZM556. You know, when you move to a different country, they're using a different center number. So this is center number for my former school. Yeah, but it's still fine. I can use this one. Okay. The next one we need to say save the document with a new file name. So it will just be at the end of the file name that we have. We just actually add our candidate number. Okay. So go here and save as in the current folder, and you're going to save this. Just add candidate number, and I'll save it as a document file, simply because I'm going to be pasting some pictures in it, and so the format might need to be an advanced format than a narrative format. Okay, so save it. Okay, so next part, task 2, document. You're going to edit a report for Tawara Books. The company uses a corporate house style for all their documents. Paragraph styles must be created and applied to the report as instructed. Okay, step 1. Open the file J219 literacy.rtf. So let's go ahead and open that file. The file in question is this one. Okay, so go back to the question paper. So the page setup is set to F4, landscape orientation with 2 centimeters margin. Do not make any changes to these settings. So you can go ahead and verify that you do have actually your literacy.rtf file is actually set to these properties that are here. So just go ahead and verify that. Okay, so I'm gonna just let me just highlight this, so it's important. Now the part in the question tells you that these have actually not been like in the past they've asked you to set up this, set the page to F4 landscape and stuff like that, but in this one they've actually set it for you, so that shouldn't be an issue. So go ahead, go to layout, and then page setup here. So from here you can tell the margins are 2 centimeters. If you go to orientation, it's landscape. Go to paper, you'll see that it's F4, so that shouldn't be an issue. So we've been told to save the document in a work area in the format of the software that we're using, with a file name such as fact sheet. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save our document with fact sheet. You go to file, save as in the current folder, and just change to the format of the software we are using, which is a Word document, and then here we change it to fact sheet. Okay, so you type it as it is, uppercase, and save it. Okay, so fact sheet. Next part of the question tells us place in your evidence document a screenshot to show the file has been saved and make sure that there's evidence of the file name. So come here, inside this one, I'm just going to perhaps I don't need to maximize it, that's too much. So just the way it is, but make sure that the type here is showing. So currently, notice that the type is not fully visible. So I'm just going to reduce this, double click there, and double click there, double click there, and you see my file type is now fully visible. And the fact sheet file is this one actually here. So I'm just going to get a screenshot of this from here, step from there all the way to there. Okay, and copy it, and let's now paste it in our evidence document. So that's our evidence number one. Okay, good, looks good. Let's go to place in the header your name, center number, and content number left aligned, and then an automated page number right aligned. So let's go ahead and do that. In the header, so insert header, blank 3 column, left aligned, we have our name, Chikasa Evans, ZM 556001. We don't need the center one, the placeholder, but we do need a page number, so right aligned. So we go to quick paths, build, and then hit P on your keyboard to get to page, and then just select the page number from there. Okay, that's done. Go back to the question paper. Says place an automated date field right aligned in the footer to display today's date. Okay, so just put in the footer, go to insert. This time around, you're inserting a footer, blank 3 column, right aligned should be the date. Confirm that it is right aligned. So right aligned should be the date. Select that, go to quick paths, field, hit D on your keyboard twice to get to D, date. I like this one, so we'll use 22nd September and put it like that. And then the next part of the question says all alignments match the page margins, so you should make sure that there's no other text or placeholders, including the header or footer areas, and headers are actually displayed on all pages. Okay, so go ahead and remove these placeholders. You don't need to leave these placeholders. It doesn't make your document look professional, so you need to remove them. Okay, so done with the header stuff, and we are going to go to the next page. So step 3 says create and store the following styles, basing each on the default paragraph style. And so we're going to these are the styles that we have, and let's go ahead and create different styles based on this. Now, one key thing that is very important here is this one, basing each on the default paragraph style. This is very key, guys. I'll show you again why it's important. Okay, so there could be a mark also if you build your styles based on this one. There should be a mark allocated for this. Okay, let's go ahead and create this paragraph style. So now I don't know how I'm going to whether I'll just master these styles or stuff like that. I need to, let's see if I minimize this, zoom out a little bit. Just pardon me, I hope you guys can see this. Just zoom out some of this and take it to the left. Okay, I can arrange these windows side by side, but so I'll just do this, zoom out a little bit for this one as well, and start to work on the different styles that we have. Okay. So zoom in a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just come here on styles. You can say create a new style. Alternatively, you can come here and click on that, and you have your style manager opened, and at the bottom here you can have a new style defined. So the beauty with this one is that you'll be seeing the styles as you create them like this, and also you'll be able to see other styles that have been created for the document that are existing and have been applied for this document. So that's why the style manager is actually very important. So let's go ahead and define our style. This is TW dash subtitle, like that, and it should be the style based on normal. Okay, it should be based on normal. That is the part that they're asking you, that it should be based on the default paragraph style. Okay, it should be based on normal. Okay, base it on normal. That's very important. Let's go ahead and start for the following paragraph. It's our subtitle. So go ahead and put some details that you have there. A serif font is Times New Roman 18, so just make it 18 here. And left align, okay, so it's left align, underline, okay, just underline, and single and 00. So just go ahead and confirm that the paragraph is actually 00, space before, space after, and single line spacing, and say okay and build it. Okay. The next one is supposed to be a new style, TW subhead, and it should be based on normal. And this one is subhead, of course, and we need it's a serif font, so it's Times New Roman, and it's 14, so we'll change this one to 14. It's supposed to be center, okay, so it's supposed to be center. Make it center, bold and underlined, make it bold and underlined, and then single line spacing, so come here to paragraph, and then single line spacing and space before and space after 6. So this is okay, like that, and say okay, and say okay. Next, we need to make our new, and then the TW body, and this one should be based on TW on normal, and it will be based on TW body. To be a style for the TW body style. It's supposed to be sans serif, so let's pick Calibri light, that's fine. You can pick up Arial if you want. Just a serif font 11, nope, it's supposed to be 10. It should be justified, which is this one here. Alternatively, you can come here and paragraph, and then you can perform this. So alignment justified, you have got space after 6, space before 0, and line spacing 0. So define this one and say okay, and say okay. The next one is supposed to be the TW table, okay, and you are going to base it on normal and to be TW table. What you need to do now for this one is, it's a sans serif font, so I'll use Calibri light, and I'll use 11 points. It should be center, and it should be italic, and it should be, everything else should be 0. So 00 and single line spacing. Okay, so this is done, and this is done. Okay, so you have your paragraphs styles created. Now the next thing that you're supposed to do is to show evidence. So take a screenshot to show that the style settings have been defined for this TW subhead style. Make sure that there is evidence that this is based on the default paragraph style. Okay, so there should be evidence, and this is where this one was important, I mentioned. So make sure that there's evidence based on default paragraph style, which is the normal one. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go to the different styles that we've created. Just click here and go to the subhead, it's the one in question. So right click on it, modify it, and then we can get a screenshot of this. But again, we need just to drag this side, get also the second window for the paragraph formattings, and then just get a screenshot of these two windows. Okay, okay, like that. Okay, just copy, go ahead, evidence document, and paste it under evidence 2. So okay, go ahead and paste it under evidence 2 here. Okay, like that. The next one is supposed to be come here. Okay, so the next one is supposed to be step number 4. The style name TW title has already been created, stored, and applied to the text, to the title text. Okay, so modify the T TW title styles, so only the following formatting is applied. So let's go ahead and find that style. So basically, you go here on styles, and the style in question is this one, title. No, it's not the one. No, this is the evidence document. Sorry, it's supposed to go in this fact file. So the style in question is this one, TW table. Just click here and say modify, and then we now apply the different properties that we've been told. So it should be a serif font, okay, and it should be font size 32 right aligned. So serif 32 right aligned. Let's go ahead. So wow, this is table. Title is supposed to be this one. Be careful that you don't modify wrong styles. So that was the table I selected. So it's supposed to be a serif font. Let's just put it here. So serif font, let's go for Times New Roman, and font size 32. So we'll just type 32 there, and it's supposed to be right aligned. 32. Let's make sure it's 32. Right aligned, and then it's supposed to be bold, italic, not underlined, and everything else remains 000. So just go ahead and confirm. Space after is supposed to be 0, okay, and space before space after space before is supposed to be 0, and single line spacing, and do that. So there's no underline and stuff like that. So make sure that all the styles actually are shown there. 32 point, bold, italic, right, and it's based on normal, and that should be perfectly fine. So click OK, and that should be done. So notice that the moment you've applied that, you will see that it actually changes there. So being told now, display the custom style, or rather this one, evidence 3. Take a screenshot of, let's just maximize this now. Take a screenshot of the style settings for TW title style to show that these have been changed. Place this in your evidence document. So go ahead and get the style for this one. Come here. TW title is this one. Modify it, and then get a screenshot of these two. So I'll just drag this inside first. Get a screenshot of this and put it here, and let's show that it has been modified. So just cut that, copy it, and then we can paste it as well under you can paste it under 3. Just come here, evidence 3, and we'll paste it here. Okay, so this is just the size so that it can fit properly. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is to go back to the question paper and say display these custom style names as a list in the style manager organizer. Provide screenshot evidence for this, and place the screenshot evidence under evidence number 4. So what you come here to do, you need to get the style manager, which is actually this small window that is open here. How you get it is when you have this full screen here, you see here it says style, and just the bottom corner here, this is your style manager. So manage and customize your styles. So click there, and this is your style manager. So get this window. Basically, you need to make sure that there's no other text covering it. So get this and get it just up to there. That's fine. You don't need to go all the way down. Copy and paste it in your evidence document, just like so. That should be fine. Okay, so below the title, add the subtitle, report edited by, and add your name. So let's go ahead here and close this. So below the title, we'll add reports edited by, and then we'll add our name, Chikasa Evans. Okay, and we'll go back here. Apply the TW subtitle to this text. Okay, so go ahead and double click on it, and let's apply the TW subtitle. TW should be this one, subtitle. Hopefully, yeah, that should be the subtitle. Okay, and you can even confirm how the subtitle is changing. For example, notice that initially our subtitle was somewhere like, the text was here, but after I've applied the subtitle, notice that the text has come left aligned it is not italic, it is now underlined, and so on. So you can confirm the property of the subtitle. You see, it is left aligned, it is underlined, and it should be 18 points and should be a serif font. And you can confirm that when you click there. Notice that it is 18 points, it is underlined, it is left aligned, and it is a serif font, which is a Times New Roman in our case. So that's how you can tell that the style has been applied. Okay, so apply the TW body style to the rest of the document. So we'll go here, select the rest of the document, which is this one, and apply the TW subtitle or TW body, this one, TW body style to the rest of the document. So go ahead and apply it. Come here, it is this one, TW body, apply it. Scroll up just to confirm that every paragraph has actually been applied with that title, okay, with that style. Come here, change the page layout so that only the text from subheading history to the end of the paragraph ending Libya, Rwanda, and Tunisia is displayed in 2 columns of equal width with a 2 centimeter space between the columns. So go ahead and do that. The text from history is this one, and go all the way down to the country names that were mentioned. I think that should be Tunisia was the last one here, Libya, Rwanda, Tunisia, and get these, and we are going to split them. So go to layout, columns, more columns, 2 columns, and spacing select to 2 centimeters, and say okay, and that should be fine. Notice that the table has actually been split, so you're not supposed to have a table like this. You can't leave the table hanging separate. So the way around this is to actually push the table like that onto a new page. But for now, we're supposed to make sure at the end of the paper, that's when we do, at the end of the document section, document production section, that's when we do this. For now, we'll just leave it like that because we may insert some other objects that may push automatically the table down. So for now, let's just leave it like as it is. Change the page layout. We've just done that. Identify 6 subheadings in the document and apply the TW subhead style to each one. So we'll look up for the subheadings. So these are the subheadings here. They're just single words or phrases occupying a line. So the generation gap, current trends, the gender gap. Just triple click on this. This one, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We should have one more. Should be this one: literacy rates and economic growth. Okay, and we're going to apply the subhead title. So the subhead title, let's go ahead and check. It should be this one. Okay, again, notice that the subhead title and the subtitle, they kind of behave funny. So if you click here and go to the property for the subhead, okay, so the subhead is supposed to be center aligned, but notice that our subhead is actually left aligned. So that's how, again, you can tell that your style is not correct. So come to the subhead, modify, and then it's based on subhead, but it was never center aligned. So center align it, make it center aligned, and then come here. Check that all the other stuff is there. So it's supposed to be center aligned, bold, and underlined, 14 serif font. So just verify that. So it's a serif font. Times New Roman, it's 14. It is center aligned now, single line spacing, and it is underlined, and it's supposed to be bold. Just check that it is bold. I thought I did all that, so I wonder why it didn't change. Okay, so subhead is supposed to be bold, and let's go ahead and make it that. So you really need to pay attention as you apply these styles, guys, because sometimes you may think you've applied the style or gotten the style correctly, but you've actually messed up somewhere. So it's good to always confirm that when you apply the style, it actually behaves the same way that it is being described in the house style specification. If it doesn't behave that way, then you know something is wrong. Okay, so for example, I would like also to verify that it has got 6 points space after. So just come here and go to modify, go to paragraph, and you'll see that it has got 6 points space after. So that's very important that you confirm all that. Okay, good. So the next thing that we're supposed to do is import the image gender, j219 gender.jpg, and place this below the subhead gender gap. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that below the gender gap. So the gender gap is this one. So below is right at the start of the paragraph. You put the cursor there. Okay, don't do this. Don't do this like that, and then that's when you put the image. No, don't do that. Okay, that's wrong. So below the subhead, the gender gap means at the start of the paragraph. That's below. Okay, and anything else, you won't mess up with the layout of your document. This is the best way that you will always align your image very well. So let's come here. So the image in question we're inserting is gender. So just come to insert picture and then browse to the location where your picture is. So mine could be here. I hope this is the one. No, that's not the one. This is for the A-level paper. Mine could be this one. Yeah, so the image is this one, and insert it. Okay, right there. So notice how the image has been inserted and has created some gap here. We don't want that, or we don't mind that for now, because we'll be told to perform some formatting on this text to make it look like what the examiner wants us to make it look. So rotate the image 180 degrees. So go ahead and select the image, go to rotate, and then more rotation, and then where it says rotation, here we'll put 180 and say okay. So the image actually flips 180 degrees and faces the opposite way. An alternative one is to rotate it vertically 90 degrees, again vertically 90 degrees, 90 plus 90, that will be 180. So you can rotate it like this. Rotate right 90 degrees, again rotate right again 90 degrees, or rotate left 90 degrees and again rotate left 90 degrees. So two 90 degrees rotated in the same direction will give you the 180 degrees. Okay. But if you're not sure, just come to more rotation and give it a 180 degrees rotation. Good. So the next one is supposed to be format the image so that it is aligned to the right margin and the top of the paragraph starting there's little or no and then the text wrap, rather perform a text wrap around the image. So it is right aligned to the margin and the top of the paragraph that is starting there. So notice the thing is, we aligned it the moment we put our cursor at the start of the paragraph. When we're inserting the image, we automatically aligned the image to the paragraph, so we didn't need to worry about that. That's why I was telling that's the beauty of inserting the image at the center of at the start of the paragraph. So now just put square and you'll see, notice that the image is actually aligned there. So what we now want to do is that the image should be aligned to the right of the margin, and it should look something like this. Okay, so we need to come here and take it to the right. Now when you take it to the right, you should get a green line like that. That shows it is aligned to the margin, and you should try to get a green line on top of the paragraph as well, which will show you that it is aligned to the paragraph. Okay, so that one done. We just need one more line there. Oh, come on. Okay. For some reason I'm not getting the other line that I want to get, but just okay, it was there. I saw a line there. You're basically just trying to maneuver it and get it somewhere. Okay. Let's see, it's not aligned to the margin. Oops, that's not alignment. Okay, green line there. Okay, there you go. So you should have something like this. That means that it is aligned to the top of the paragraph and it is aligned to the right of the margin. So once you have this, then you know that your image is proper. If you don't have this, then you know it's crazy. But again, if you are using if you're using Office 2007 or something like that, you may not be able to get this. So you just have to figure out that it is aligned to the margin. Measure the margin from the right margin from here, and then get the margin for this picture from the right as well, and make it the same as the margin for the document. That will work out. Okay. So apply the bullets to the list from the text add out from this one, add out from 76 to 85 to the order of cohort to 90%. Okay. So let's say down here. So the bullet list in question is somewhere there. So this one, so we are applying the bullet from here. So the best way that you can do this is simply just to say paragraph, but we've been told to format this, so make sure that the bullets are indented 2 centimeters from the left margin. The list is in single line spacing with no space before or after each line, but that there is a 6-point space after the last item in the list. So come here, you have selected that, and notice that there is already a 6-point space after the last element in the list. So take note what happens when you put the margin. So the margin, we are told that it should be 2 centimeters from the left, so make it 2 centimeters indentation, 2 centimeters from the left. And then we're told also that there should be no space between the lines, so that should be fine. And then the other thing is that we should have a 6-point space after the last line. So here you don't put 6 space, because this is, we have selected all the lines there. As you can see, we've selected all the lines, but notice that after we do this, there's no more space, single line spacing, which is 6-point spacing after the last line. So we'll select the last line, and it's the only one where we're going to add a single line spacing of 6. So we'll come here, select paragraph, and then add 6 points to it, and do just that. And notice that now we have the space there that is required. Okay. So I'll just zoom in so that you guys can see. Okay, so now the next thing that we need to do is to come here, step number 15, and we're going to add some records. So let me see how many steps are actually remaining there before we can. I was thinking of stopping this video and start a different video, but let's just finish it off so that we don't waste so much time. So they call the adult literacy progress table in the document. Insert a new column as a third column in the table, and enter the data shown in bold into this new column. Okay, so we're going to insert a new column into our table, and we're going to enter some data in there. So come here, right at the end of the table here. Okay, right at the end here, we're going to insert a new column. So when you get a plus sign like that, that means add a new column. When you get a plus sign here, it means add a new row. So we're going to add a new column, like so, and then we're going to enter the details that are there. So I'll just minimize it, scroll to the right, and then type in some details that will be in the question paper. So let's start it. So the first one is 2000, and then we'll get to 68%. So you'll be adding the percentage symbol as well. You get 97%. How I wish 97% was a mark for somebody's result, like getting 97% in an ICT exam. Wish you'll be staring, you'll be flying. When others are flying, you'll be flying. Okay, so 92%, and 92% for your information is an A star. So 90% is an A star, and 59%, rather, that's a D. So 57%, and just verify that you have typed the information correctly. So when text is in bold like this one we have here on the question paper, it means you type it exactly as it is. It doesn't mean that make this text bold. Like somebody, one student was asking me, but sir, you've forgotten to make this text bold. And I said, but where is it asking us to make it bold? I said, but in the question paper it appears as bold. In the question paper, what that means is that when it appears bold like this, then you type it exactly as it is. You don't necessarily have to make it bold in your work. Okay. So it looks good, and we can go to the next question. So we need to apply the TW table style to the text, to the table. So get it and apply the table style. So I'm going just to maximize it, and the table style should be this one, and we'll apply it like that. That is good. And then next, we're supposed to make sure that there's no text wrapping. In our case, there's no text wrapping, as you can see in the background. That there's an outside border only with no internal grid lines displayed when printed. So let's go ahead and remove the internal grid lines. So just come here, and outside border is here. Okay, just outside border. What? This is not outside border. What happened to it? Okay, it's just supposed to be, okay, just remove this and just put outside border alone, like that. Okay. Then we should have, it says, where we, the border and all the data fit within the column width, okay, which is true. It is within the column width, as you can see. It's within the column width, so that should be fine. So the next thing that you need to do is, there is a 6-point space after the table, so that should be fine. We do have some space after the table, which is this one here. So if we remove this, that means there's no space. You can do that. That means you have a 6-point space after the table, so that shouldn't worry about that. Format the first row of the table to be bold and italic. Okay, so the first row of the table to be bold and italic. So select that, right click, and then say merge. First of all, before you merge, make it bold and italic, and then the next question asks us actually to center align it over 4 columns, which means merge it and then make it center aligned. So merge cells and to center align like that. So come here. The next question says apply this superscript formatting only to the text education 2030 in the last paragraph. Okay, so a key word here to take note of is superscript. So superscript actually refers to this one here. So this is a subscript and this is superscript. Okay, so it means, like in mathematics you'd call it a power. This one in mathematics you'd call it maybe something like a base or something like that. So superscript. So the last text paragraph is this one, education 2030. Select it and apply a superscript. If you apply a subscript, it looks like this. Okay, but in our case we're told to apply the superscript, so it should go up and it should look like that. Okay, that should be fine. So next question is step 19, spell check and proofread the document. Make sure that the list and tables are not split over columns or pages, that there are no widows or orphans, and there's no blank pages, and the house type specification have been followed correctly and styles have been applied as instructed. Again, this is where this is what I was talking about earlier on, about verifying and making sure that styles that you've applied to a document are actually exactly as what has been specified in the house type specification. So that is very important, guys. So spacing is consistent between all items. That means if it's 6 points space between paragraphs, it should be consistent. Save the document using the same name, same file name as the format used in step 1, and print the document. Okay, so make sure that your center number, country number, and your name are actually on the report. Okay. And so go ahead and do just that. So what we'll do is just verify that all your documents are actually as they are supposed to be, that there is no text that is cut. Currently it looks good. Forget about the grammar and stuff like that. You don't start to correct this here when you do spelling check. You're actually supposed to focus on the red text that is underlined red, but this is underlined blue, and it's showing you something to do with the grammar and stuff like that. This is nothing to do with spellings. Okay, but again, you also need to be careful with nouns or words that are not English. So you don't just change anything. For example, my name, Chikasa, is not English word. So if you were to perform a spell check on this one, it would tell you something like jigsaw, because that's an English word. Okay, so let's go and come here. So the last step for document production was actually to perform an evaluation, I guess. Not an evaluation. Answer the following questions and record your answers in your FTS document. What does the term file extension, or what does the file extension .csv stand for? So you are actually checking out all of this. What does CSV stand for? So CSV stand for comma separated value, and you can go ahead and type that in your evidence document. So this stands for comma separated value. Okay, it's basically a file that is it's a text file, so to say, and you can identify it by the commas that will exist between between the different data items that are in the table. I can give you an example. For example, if you go to, let me just go somewhere, maybe I have a CSV file nearby. Let's open it in a new window. Go in this quick files. Let's go with this one, and maybe let's try this one, and let's open it with Notepad, or let's open it with WordPad. And notice that this is a CSV file, but notice the commas separating the individual items of data, and each comma will separate sort of a column from the other column. So it's basically a text file. It is a text file, and it is used to hold simple data in an organized manner. Okay. So outline two characteristics of this thing. So one of the characteristics is that it is a text file, and we can say that it has commas between the different data items. Each comma, we can say each comma when each comma, let's say, demarcates or signifies a different column. Okay. So part 3 says explain one example when a CSV file will be used. Okay. So we can use a CSV file, for example, to hold basic data items, and then we can use it in software applications like Access to import data into a database. Okay, so can be used simple, let's say, organized data to be imported into database packages. Let's say database packages such as Microsoft Access. Say database package. Okay. Yeah. So basically, that's what you are doing, and you should be in no more than 50 words to explain this. And there you go with your 33 marks. Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video, and in the next segment of this video, we'll be looking at database. And don't forget to subscribe, to share, to like, to comment, and I'll see you shortly in the next video.